Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Stories for Beginners. On this channel, stories become your teacher. We practice with the shadowing technique. Listen carefully, then repeat after me. Copy my voice, my speed, and my feeling. This trains your brain to think in English, not to translate. Today's story is called I Went to Madrid. You will practice useful English for airports, security, boarding, public transport, hotels, ordering food, asking for directions, and small talk while traveling. Stay until the end, and your rhythm and pronunciation will grow step by step. Are you ready? Let's begin. The morning flight.
My name is Anna. I checked my passport and my e-ticket. I put liquids in a clear 1-liter bag. At security, I took out my laptop and phone. The officer said, "No metal in your pockets." I walked through the scanner and waited. A green light showed. "Have a good trip," he said. I found my gate and sat near the screen. Boarding started on time and the plane lifted into clear sky.
Arrival at
We landed at Adolfo Suarez Madrid Barajas. Signs showed llegadas and arrivals. I followed the arrows to passport control. The officer asked, "How long will you stay?" 4 days. "Tourism," I answered. He stamped my passport and waved me through. At belt 18, my suitcase appeared. I checked the airport map near the exit. City transport options were listed simply. I chose the metro because it was direct.
Metro into the city.
I bought a travel card from the machine. I selected single to Seoul and paid by card. A staff member reminded me to keep the ticket. On the platform, I waited behind the yellow line. The train arrived and the doors opened smoothly. I let passengers exit before I entered. An announcement named each stop clearly. I changed at Nuevos Ministerios with calm steps. The final station was Seoul, the city's heart. I climbed the stairs into bright afternoon light.
Check-in and first steps.
My hotel stood near the Gran Vía letters. The receptionist said, "Welcome, passport please." She gave me a key card and a small city map. "Breakfast from 7 to 10, she added. I opened the window and heard street music. I washed my face and changed my shirt. I planned a short walking route. Sola Gran Vía a Plaza de España letters. Just look, listen, and learn. I left the hotel with light feet.
Gran Vía Walk.
Gran Vía felt wide, bright, and busy. Buildings wore stone like formal jackets. A bus hissed and moved away from the stop. I read store names and simple billboards. A couple asked me to take a photo. I framed their smiles with the street behind. They said, "Perfect. Gracias." I wrote one line in my notebook. First hour, eyes open, steps steady. I turned toward Plaza de España and kept walking.
Temple of Debod at sunset.
I reached a park with a calm view. The Temple of Debod stood by a still pool. Stone reflected soft gold from the sky. People sat quietly on the edge and watched. A child laughed and pointed at the water. A guitar played a slow melody nearby. I sat on a low wall and breathed slowly. Madrid moved, but not in a hurry. Light faded and street lamps woke. I headed back with quiet thoughts.
Tapas on a side street.
I chose a small bar on a narrow street. A board listed tortilla, patatas bravas, and calamares. I said, "A small plate of each, please." The waiter placed water and fresh bread. The tortilla was soft and warm. The potatoes came with a gentle spice. A family shared plates and soft laughter. I learned 2 simple phrases, "Buen provecho" and "Gracias." I paid at the counter and thanked the staff. The night air felt kind and cool.
Prado Morning.
The next day, I walked to the Prado Museum. I booked a timed ticket on my phone. Inside, rooms were calm and bright. I watched light on painted faces and hands. I read short notes in English and Spanish. A guard nodded as I passed slowly. I chose one painting to study longer. 5 minutes changed my mood and breath. Art taught me to move more gently. I left with a softer mind.
Retiro Park pause.
I crossed to Retiro Park for a short rest. Trees shaped a green ceiling over the path. At the lake, boats drifted in quiet circles. I bought a bottle of water at a kiosk. I sat on a bench and watched the surface. A breeze made small silver lines on the water. A runner passed with even steps. A group practiced simple Tai Chi. 10 minutes of silence felt like a gift. I stood up when the sun grew stronger.
Reina, Sofía, and a lesson.
I took the metro to Reina Sofía. I followed the signs to a famous room. The painting showed broken shapes and a deep feeling. People stood in a wide arc and listened. A guide said, "Art remembers what words forget." I looked, then looked again, and said nothing. History spoke without sound. I walked out slowly and wrote one sentence: "Learning is also listening." I took fresh air in the glass courtyard.
Midday at San Miguel Market.
I went to Mercado de San Miguel near Plaza Mayor. Glass walls showed color and light. I tried olives, a small croqueta, and a fruit cup. Stalls called out simple offers in friendly voices. I rested at a high table for 10 minutes. Travelers shared quiet nods over food. I learned to order with a few words. Point, smile, and say, "Por favor." It worked again and again. I left when it grew busy.
Small problem, simple fix.
I reached for my phone and paused. The battery showed 5%. I checked my map and marked my route. At a cafe, I asked, "May I charge my phone?" The waiter nodded and pointed to a wall outlet. I ordered a glass of water and said thank you. I used airplane mode to save power. 10 minutes gave me enough charge. I paid, smiled, and left a small tip. The day continued without stress.
Atocha Station and the garden.
I visited Atocha Station to see the indoor garden. Tall plants rose under a bright roof. People rolled suitcases past green leaves. Announcements echoed like soft bells. I read the departure board for practice. Destination, platform, and time felt clear. Travel is a language of signs. I stood and watched as trains arrived and left. Motion and order lived together here. I walked back out into the city light.
Churros at San Ginés.
I followed a small alley to Chocolateria San Ginés. A waiter carried cups of thick chocolate. I ordered churros and sat by the wall. The first bite was warm and crisp. I dipped once and tasted slow sweetness. 2 friends shared a plate and a story. I listened to the rhythm of simple words. Travel teaches through small, kind moments. I finished, wiped my hands, and stood. The alley felt friendly as I left.
Evening on a rooftop.
I took an elevator to a rooftop near the Gran Vía Letters. The city spread like a map of lights. Air moved gently across the terrace. I leaned on the rail and watched traffic. A couple pointed toward a distant tower. Quiet music touched the edges of the sky. I drank water and rested my feet. The day placed its colors back on the shelf. I saved one image for my memory. Madrid glowed without trying.
A helpful conversation.
Back at the hotel, I asked the receptionist, "Could you recommend a morning bakery?" She circled 2 places on the map. "Try a Napolitana de chocolate," she said. We practiced a few Spanish words together. Hello, please, thank you, and good night. Her patience made learning easy. I filled my bottle at the lobby station. I planned my last morning with clear steps. I slept with the windows slightly open.
Last morning errands.
I woke early and packed carefully. I checked the drawers and under the bed. I rolled shirts, zipped the case, and weighed it by hand. At the bakery, warm air met me at the door. I ordered 1 pastry and a small coffee. The first bite flaked like soft paper. I stood at the counter and read a sign. "Thank you for your visit." Simple words felt sincere. I walked to the metro for the airport.
Back to Barajas.
Signs guided me to departures. I checked in at the counter with a calm face. "Any liquids or power banks in the suitcase?" the agent asked. "No, only clothes and shoes," I said. Security repeated the same clear steps: tray, laptop, liquids, and phone. At the gate, I charged my phone again. I bought a bottle of water for the flight. I messaged my mother, "All good. Boarding soon." A boarding call named my group, and I stood.
A short delay, a small choice.
The screen changed to delayed 20 minutes. People sighed, then settled into their seats. I used the time to review new words. Hola, gracias, por favor, buen provecho, buon anosia. I practiced them quietly with steady breath. A child waved, and I waved back. The line formed when the door opened. I placed my passport on the scanner. A soft beep confirmed my turn. I walked down the jet bridge with steady steps.
What Madrid taught me.
The plane rose, and the city grew small. I closed my eyes and listed moments. Stone and light on the Gran Vía letters. A temple reflected in still water. Bread, tomato, and warm tortilla. Art that asked for silence. A park that slowed my thoughts. Simple help from patient people. Travel teaches through clear steps and quiet courage. I was ready to return and to come back one day.
Great job today. You listened, repeated, and shadowed each line with me. I went to Madrid reminds us that travel is more than places. It is patience at security, clear questions at a counter, kindness from strangers, and attention to small details. Shadowing works the same way. One line at a time, your English becomes smoother and more confident. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to English Stories for Beginners. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new story. One page, one story, one step your English will grow. Thank you for learning with me. See you in the next video.